Saturday night's 3,000th Republican debate was an hour and a half. EPA. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, you sort of assumed maybe some of this was happening because I think like 90 seconds was about the amount of time that the Ron Paul camp had to respond also in talks. There's not a lot of time for these guys.
We have a top tier. It is Mitt Romney, Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann.
We have a new top tier, and it's Perry, Mitt Romney, and Bachmann. There's now a top tier, at least for now, of Romney, Perry, and Bachmann.
Poll. Romney leads New Hampshire. Huntsman third, Perry fourth. Now, do they know how to count? Why would they omit saying who was in second? Well, you know why. Ron Paul.
I never thought this day would ever happen. I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage.
Well, if you haven't paid attention to gas prices the last couple of days, you might be in for a shock.
Why are prices fluctuating so much?
We will not rest until we reach a day when not one single veteran falls into homelessness. I will not rest until the dream of healthcare reform is finally achieved in the United States of America. The administration will not rest until every American can find a job. We will not rest until we build an economy that's ready for America's future.
Truth is, we misread the economy.
We will not rest. I will not rest. We will not rest. I'm not going to rest.
We've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
Everybody knows that it makes no sense that you send a kid to the emergency room for a treatable illness like asthma. They end up taking up a hospital bed. It costs they gave them treatment early, and they got some treatment and a breathalyzer or an inhalator.
The feeling most people get when they hear Barack Obama's speech, I felt this squirrel going up my leg.
The way to make government responsible is to hold it accountable. And the way to make government accountable is to make it transparent.
There's a controversy of a different kind as a solar panel company championed by President Obama and given more than $500 million in loan guarantees from the federal government is all of a sudden filing for bankruptcy.
So there's nothing automatic about my appeal only being to Republicans.
Behind who? How did Libertarian Ron Paul become the 13th floor in a hotel?
But is there a media bias against him? Just from the media's point of view, isn't he good for the media because he challenges Republican orthodoxy and causes debate and generates and stimulates the discussion about ideas that the other Republicans don't want to talk about?
Well, that's right. It's because he is such an extraordinary candidate that the mainstream media doesn't pay attention. Every time Ron Paul comes out, attracts huge crowds, gets numbers that are suspicious in the polls to say this could be your Republican nominee, the mainstream media that refuse to acknowledge, it's like he's standing in front of them and they say, I don't believe it. Don't believe it. I'm going to rub my eyes and see if he's still there. Yeah.
The key issue is the economy. Right. No one has been stronger on what has caused these problems. No one has been more consistent. No one has done more to bring the Federal Reserve and money printing and central planning of economic activity into focus than Ron Paul.
And there's so much more to do.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
It's funny to me that the one guy on the political scene now who really is the one who I applaud, I really rise out of my chair and applaud, is Ron Paul. When it comes to this, He's the guy, and he
just because he would let you smoke pot.
Yes, he would.
That's the only reason you like.
That's not the only reason. He's the one who is really in my heart on foreign affairs, not Barack Obama.
This most spectacular case.
Only a smattering you got on that bill.
Yeah.
You notice that? It was a small smattering.
Because they're brainwashed liberals.
Okay. And that's who you attract.
Maybe they...
The last nail is being driven into the coffin of the American Republic. Yet Congress remains in total denial as our liberties are rapidly fading before our eyes.
And devised a breakthrough method to honor his promise.
To cut the deficit by half by the end of my first term in office.
Spend more.
We got to go spend money to keep from going bankrupt? The answer, yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
President Obama, 4 more years.
There's a Rasmussen poll out today, Congressman, of likely voters. They included you as a third-party candidate. It's a three-way tally. Mitt Romney gets 44%, Barack Obama gets 39%, Ron Paul gets 13%. I ask this question, sir, because in our prior interviews, you have said to me quite plainly that you were not anticipating a third-party run. Is that still your point of view?
Yeah, I don't have any plans for that, but I think the interesting thing there, if you extrapolate, it looks like some of my votes come from the independents and the Democrats. So there's nothing automatic about my appeal only being to Republicans.